to hurl obscenities to regime critics. Some of them have even been rewarded by sounding government positions just because they are abusive, they are insulting, and they use nasty, obscene words against the opponents of the regime. But they've been rewarded. But there's a young man called Musuza Juma, also known as Madubala. He continues to rot in prison for speaking or for being regarded abusive to the regime. We condemn that. We call for equality. We call for justice for everybody. But most importantly, we call for the joining of hands to remove this immoral and oppressive regime of General Museveni and his fellow thieves. We must save our country. Otherwise, justice won't be served. Those that do wrong will be rewarded, and those that do right will be punished. This year, 2024, we saw Uganda being struck off the countries that are beneficiaries of the African Growth Opportunities Act, the USA AGOA. Uganda was scrapped off, and this was prompted by human rights abuses, by disregard of the rule of law, and all the wrong things that the regime do. What does this mean? This means that more than 6,000 of Uganda's products now can no longer have duty-free access to the world's biggest economy. Yes, it's a loss to Uganda. It's also a blow to this regime as we seek to discredit it further. You saw Museveni sending his son-in-law to go and plead, but it was unsuccessful. We continue to advise him that the best way to plead is to do the right thing, because we live in a global community and we should be judged by similar standards, especially in regards to humanity and the rule of law. This year, our common people continue to suffer, and I'll talk about coffee. Coffee this year was dealt a blow. The regime ignored nationwide protests from farmers and went ahead and scrapped the Uganda Coffee Development Authority and handed its operations to the Ministry of Agriculture. Now, as a result, we all know that over 12 million coffee growers in Uganda are at risk, knowing the incompetencies of the ministries run by Museveni's, henchmen, like you have seen in the Ministry of Agriculture. Coffee, we should note that earned Uganda 4.2 trillion in the financial year that ended in June this year. Now that's a lot of money. And as we have seen in the recent past, that wherever there is money, Museveni will bring his people and try to take over that. We saw that with gold, it's only his family that deals in gold. We saw that with cotton, we saw that with vanilla, and now it is with coffee. You've already seen his family and close allies trying to, monopolize coffee, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Now, because Museveni wants to control the income of Ugandans, wherever there is money, he wants to control it. Now he is seeking to control coffee at the cost of the citizens. But does he care? Of course he doesn't. That is not all. As if that is not annoying enough. This year, we saw General Museveni appoint his son, the Chief of Defense Forces, the commander of the national military. Now, this, for all that ever doubted, this finally removed doubt, any kind of doubt about Museveni's intention to turn Uganda into a presidential monarch. I've said it many times to fellow Ugandans that if you want to know what is in the mind of the Museveni family, just open Twitter or X and read the tweets of his son. The CDF, not only are they immature or thoughtless, but they are extremely tribalistic. He seems to speak for the Museveni family and informing all and sundry that it's only his tribesmen and women that are full human beings. That we condemn, but like I said, we don't only condemn it, we call upon all Ugandans to stand against this nonsense, because Uganda belongs to all Ugandans, and all Ugandans are equal before and under the law, regardless of their tribe or ethnicity, regardless of their religion, regardless of their gender, regardless of their background. So we condemn the tribalistic tendencies of the Museveni regime as exposed through his son's drunk tweeting. This year, we saw Justice Kisache, Justice of the Supreme Court, run into exile. Now, this is a Justice of the Supreme Court that gave a dissenting judgment in the presidential petition of 2021, but she has since faced persecution, and it was reported recently that her life was in danger and she had to run into exile. Now imagine Justice of the Supreme Court running into exile. This is a stark reminder of the regime's attack on independent institutions and on anybody that this should remind all of us the urgency of freeing this, our country. Many things of disappointing nature happened, but ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you as we close this year that there is hope. There is hope. We see it everywhere. This year we had a nationwide tour amid these challenges, amid this constant interruption by the regime, police and military, amid this tear gas and all that. We had a nationwide tour, and for us what we got was so much courage, so much motivation from the population. The massive welcome that we got from all regions that we visited reminded us that the population is with us. So there is hope, and let us keep the hope alive. This year, I survived another assassination attempt in Bulindo. They hit my leg, I was hospitalized, I moved on crutches, and thanks to the Almighty God, I am now well. That shows you that God is on our side. And when God is on our side, it doesn't matter who is against us. This year, the National Unity Platform opened the School of Leadership. And this year, we passed our first cohort of leaders. So that also continues to remind us that we are taking the right steps in the right direction, and it gives us hope. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we close this year, we salute all of you. To all of you fellow Ugandans here in Uganda and abroad that have stood with us, guided us positively and constructively, criticized us, advised us, we thank you. We salute you. To all those that have had challenges, let us use those challenges to be better. Let us use the lessons and experiences of 2024 to bounce back bigger and better and stronger. Let's go into 2025 determined to make the best out of it and to make it a turning point of our lives and of the political future of our country. I will be speaking to you in the first week of January 2025 to share my insights and thoughts of the new year. But for now, I just want to thank you very much for staying alive, for staying positive, for staying moral, and for staying patriotic. I wish you a very happy 2025, and may God bless all the works of your hands. And may 2025 be a transformative year and a year of turning tables. Thank you very much. For God and my country.